Hello, welcome. It is wonderful to have you here in this next new episode of the Awakening Collective podcast. And today we're going into the next three stages of the five stages of awakening. So if you haven't heard last week's podcast, go back, listen to those first two and the kind of things that you can do to sort of help yourself through that phase, things to be focusing on to help you flow a little bit easier through what you're going through. But yeah, like I said, today we're going to go through the next three. We're going to dive straight into that. So now, stage two and stage three are a little bit interchangeable because as you start exploring that exploration phase, you're exploring deeper into spirituality, into who you are as a human, into your healing, and into what's going on the planet. When you're kind of getting deeper into that, this is when this third stage can kick in, which I like to call the weight of the world. And so through that exploration phase, we do start learning about, like I said, the deep healing and how that affects us. But we also start diving into how we're being manipulated on this planet and the things that are in place to keep us small and keep us sad and keep us down and feeling sorry for ourselves. And so this is when that weight of the world kicks in, because it's that time when you want to start really shaking people awake, when you just don't understand how people aren't seeing it, right? Like, I don't understand why you can't see that this is going on. You've got to wake up, and you can't wake other people up. You cannot shake people awake. As people who are awakening and stepping into ascension, the way that we get other people there is just by doing, is just by being us, is by doing our healing, is by changing our vibration and moving forward. That is how it works. You can't make somebody understand what's going on. And so this is what happens in that weight of the world. You really want to shake people awake, and you start getting really caught up as well in duality, which we really need to be careful about, because that ascension from 3D to 5D, I mean, when you think about those 5D characteristics that we want to embody, it's about unity and compassion and empathy and understanding. And when you're caught up in duality and right and wrong and good and bad and us versus them, you're holding duality in place. So as much as you want to wake people up so that we can ascend and so that they can, see what's going on, well, you're making it good and bad and right and wrong. You're actually doing the opposite of what you want. You're holding that third dimension in place. You're holding that matrix in place by having duality. So, yeah, it's a bit of a tricky situation, but it's about learning to have it. I'm not saying don't have an opinion. We can all have an opinion on things that are going on, and in certain fields, whether it's politics or what's going on in the education system or whatever that is. But you can have your opinion, like I said, you can have your opinion in that, but making you right and them wrong or vice versa. And, we want to get to a place where we're going, oh yeah, that's a really great opinion, because at the end of the day, you could be wrong. I could be wrong. And the more that we open up to other possibilities, the more we're going to start working together, because not everything on one side is right and not everything on one side is wrong. There's sort of good and bad even within that, within both. And it's us learning to work together in unity to take the bits and pieces from different places to create something that really does actually work and benefit humanity, no matter what sector that is in. So the other thing that happens in this stage is that we decide we don't want to be on this planet anymore. We wonder why we ever bothered coming here. There's a lot of separation, a lot of that, I want to go home. And as much as it's like some people, you kind of say it in a jocular manner, like, oh God, I just want to go home to where's beam me up, Scotty, sort of thing. It's really taking away from the fact that you set out a mission and a purpose. There's a reason you awakened. There's a reason that you were at the forefront of ascension. And that's what we need to start focusing on, which is really hard because you do get really stuck in that separation and that you don't want to be here anymore. But the thing is, when we're in that space where we're making the planet, we don't want to be on the planet, we don't respect Earth, we don't respect humanity as a race, and we need to be really careful how we're treading in that. So what to do when you're in this phase and you're feeling that duality, you're feeling that wanting to go home, you want to shake people awake, you just don't understand why you've bothered coming here. And I think the number one thing is to really try and get into your purpose. Why you awakened for a reason. You chose this for a reason. you chose to awaken and be at the forefront of ascension for a reason. So what is that, right? What is your purpose? Sitting down and going, okay, just ask. That's all you need to do. Ask, why am I here? Connect into those, you want to, rather than worrying about going home, home is right here. You've got your aspect of self, that starseed self that is right here, that you can say, okay, what are we doing? Like, what was this for? So connect into that, connect into your guides, connect into your intuition, connect into your inner wisdom, and really connect to that purpose and that mission of why you are here. Yeah. Getting a clear understanding as well. Like I said, that you can't hold duality and have right and wrong in the fifth dimension. It's about unity. It's about collective consciousness. It's about compassion, like I said, and just everybody having ideas and us learning how to put the best bits together that's going to help move humanity forward. Really getting clear on, I think, your purpose and connecting to that aspect of you that is home, and allowing them to help you discover that and start moving forward on that and connecting into that intuition. The other thing is just a lot of stuff, because it's a very fear-based space to be in, because we do get very scared about how we are being controlled, and that's what kicks sort of this weight of the world, and how we've been so manipulated for so long. Really grounding yourself and really connecting into Mother Earth and understanding that this planet is supporting you and that it is a secure place for you to be, is a really great place to start. Because you're kind of in that fight or flight thing again. The nervous system's a little bit all over the place again. So the breathing and the walking in nature and really getting those lower chakras moving, and those lower, when I say lower dimensional frequencies, I don't mean lower as in they're worse. I mean lower as in they're numbered lower. So that's sort of, those lower dimensional frequencies firing, so that you feel a little bit more secure, a little bit safer, a little bit more grounded, a little bit more in your body. The other thing that I just want to open you up to as well, and one thing that I found that really took hold of me in when I was in this stage, is that just check into your past relationships, whether it be from when you were on another planet or whether it be from another lifetime here on this earth. Just check into where you're at with the collectives that are creating this on earth. So the reptilians, greys, just check into, just ask, have I had experience with these beings before? Because what happened with me was that I had on another planet, in another version of myself. And so I had a real big fear of them already, because I knew exactly what they're capable of doing and destroying. Because from what I could tell when I went into sort of this regression, is that they completely destroyed my home planet at that time. And so, that was what was really kicking off fear, because I'd experienced this kind of thing with these beings before, and it was super traumatic, and they just destroyed everything. So that's something that you could be checking into too, if you really are in sort of like a deep fear around that. Sit down and go, okay, well, have I experienced this with these beings before? Because getting clarity on that can help you to understand the fear, which means you can sort of move through it a little bit easier. So that's a way woo-woo left of field thing that you can look into, but it really worked for me. So that's stage 3. So stage 4, stepping into the self-healer. So in stage 2, we talked about exploration and how it was really that point where we were looking into alternative therapies and, maybe looking into Reiki and different types of healing and crystals and all of those things. So stepping into the self-healer is where we really start to basically begin healing on purpose. So much more aware of what your triggers are, the patterns and habit, you really start noticing your patterns and your habits that are keeping you stuck, the self-sabotaging behaviors that are stopping you from moving forward. And it's really about getting into that daily flow of healing. So that noticing, checking in with yourself, where your body's at, where your emotions are at, and going, okay, well, I've got, in this stage, you're able to go, well, great, I've got a tool for that. I know what crystal I can meditate with for that. I know what meditation I can do to help that. Something comes up and you're noticing it's something that your mum's passed to you, and then you've realized that your nan's had that too. You know that that's a motherline thing. So, and you have the tools to be able to go in and learn how to collapse that and help you to start moving forward. So it's really, that stage where everything that you've learned so far and experienced so far is now really helping you to begin that healing, probably in more flow. Yeah, so you're kind of flowing through it a little better because you have those tools and you sort of have a process on how that works with you, which is really great. It's really fun. So it's really, for this stage, it's really about still keeping up with that routine. Or if you're just moving into that stage, then start cementing in a routine of daily check-ins and using the tools that you've had. It's really about starting to embody what you've learned, because it's great to learn things and have knowledge on things. It's great to know how to collapse something or know how to use a crystal or know how to meditate. But if you're not embodying that stuff, if you're not practicing what you preach, you're going to find it, that's not really how ascension kind of works, because we've got to embody those characteristics and embody those fifth dimensional characteristics. So we want to really be making sure, that we're doing that whatever our beliefs are around spirituality, around ascension, around awakening, that we are putting those into practice. Because remember, that's how we lead others to ascend, by doing. So the more you're embodying the process and embodying healing, embodying what you're learning, once that's within your cells, then that's going to resonate and emanate out within your frequency. There's a real big difference between knowing, like having the knowledge on how to do something. Oh yeah, like I read a book on that, so I know that. But there's a difference between that knowledge and embodied knowing, where what you're preaching and practicing is embedded within your cells and within your frequency. I hope that makes sense. So that's stage, what was I up to? 4, stepping into the self-healer. So you're pretty much all over the healing. It's just really about that embodying, getting to a routine of cleaning and cleansing your energy. And you're probably also in this stage getting to a point where people are actually coming to you and saying, oh, can you do me a tarot reading? If that's what you've been into. Or, oh, I heard you've been doing Reiki. Can I have a try of it? Like, this has been going on with me and I thought maybe you'd be able to help me. So it's that point also where people are probably starting to come to you to ask you questions. And if you start helping your friends and family through this, that's when you're going to start that embodiment. Yeah. So if you start actually using your intuition, using the mediumship that you've learned, using the Reiki skills, or, NLP, whatever it is that you've been doing, that's when you're going to start helping to embody that by helping other people. So it's a good stage. So then we move on to our stage 5, which is discovering your mission and purpose, when you just want to turn around and say, right, I'm embodying this stuff. I'm getting the flow of all of this thing. How can I help? How am I here to serve humanity? What is it that I'm here to do? What lights me up? What is my dharma? I believe that we all have something that we were put here to do, and that we all have characteristics and skills that we have learned because we wanted to, because that's what we were supposed to be doing. Like, it's part of that dharma. So this is when we're ready to co-create with the universe, where we're understanding that the universe is a responder and we are the creator. If you're at a point where you're still saying, why is the universe giving me this lesson? Why is the universe doing this to me? It's not the universe, it's you. You are the creator. The universe will respond in a different way when you change your thoughts, your behaviors, your patterns, your frequency, and your choices. And so in this stage 5, we're in a better understanding of that, and we understand that it all comes from within, that it all starts with us, and that what we put out is what the universe is going to respond with. So we're very on top of all of that stuff, and we're just really ready and feeling that deep inner calling to do what we came here to do. So with this stage, it's about getting into daily growth rituals, getting into daily connection to your inner guide, and basically getting your life into a point where it's like, okay, connecting into your highest timeline, connecting into that purpose. This is what I see for myself. This is what I want for myself. Connecting into that future version of you that already has and is, because she or he is already there. Yeah. That person's already there on that timeline. So it's about connecting into that and learning how to then listen to that intuition, take that guidance, and actually take action in that direction. And that's what manifestation is. Yeah. So I'm very funny when it comes to manifestation. We are manifesting all the time. Every single thing that we do every day, every thought, every feeling, every choice is manifestation. And if we can align with our highest timeline, connect into that, and let our intuition guide us to the next step to that, everything that we want and everything in that highest timeline, all the abundance, all the love, all the great relationships, all the health and wellness and money that we want, the things that we want, will come to us as we walk in alignment with that. So it's, to me, it's not about projecting out what you want. I think a lot of mainstream manifestation is about standing and projecting out, I want this car, I want this relationship, I want to look like this, or, have my health in this certain way. But that highest timeline where you have abundance in all areas, like, let's not compartmentalize abundance. Abundance involves all of those things. So let's connect into that and connect into that timeline and ask what our next step to get there is, and just allow it to flow into place. So yeah, really connecting into that highest timeline, connecting into that passion and purpose, connecting into your intuition and your guides and your aspects of self, and actually really start taking action forward. I think that's what's going to get us moving in this last phase, in this discovering mission and purpose. And then it doesn't end, you guys. That's not the end of it, okay? So everything continues to roll, and there will still be, like I said last week, this year I've still had a couple of ego deaths that have really knocked me over and shattered my nervous system. But because I know what to do, I know how to hold space for myself, I know how to hold space for that healing. I know that when my body hits that and it goes a bit fight or flight and my nervous system goes down, that the best thing for me to do is stop and breathe. I love the binaural beats. Like, I'll put binaural beats on and just allow that frequency and that sound to move through my body and just breathe. So yeah, it's learning to move through everything, but it's about having the tools to do so. So keep learning those tools, keep learning what works for you, keep really connecting into your intuition, into your guides, to that real deep inner wisdom that you have, because that's what's going to get you forward and move you through all of the things that you're going through. So just recapping from last week, I just want to go through a couple of the main things that we can all be doing no matter what stage you're in. So number one, that's learning to hold space, like I just said, for your emotions and for your healing, and learning to become the observer and have that non-attachment in the things that are going on for us. Making sure that you're learning about your own energy and your own field, and how to actually cleanse and clear that out, because that is something that you do every single day, no matter what stage that you are in. That's something that we should be doing and need to be looking at all of the time. And that self-awareness, and really starting to notice the things that are triggering you, the patterns, the behaviors, and really understanding that we are mind, body, emotion, and spirit, and you can't leave anything behind. I think once we get into spirituality and once our awakening kicks off, once we start into our healing, we get so caught up in the energetics and the subconscious and the that spirituality. So we're all very emotion and subconscious and all that healing, but we forget about the physical. And I think part of that, an unfortunate thing that's happened with this whole 3D to 5D thing is that we're actually making where we are and our physical reality a problem, because the 3D is also about action taking. And if you're not taking action on the things that are coming through to you, if you're not willing to actually change habits and make different choices and move forward with what's coming through to you, then nothing's going to move and nothing's going to change. Like I was just saying, the universe is a responder. And if you want your life to change and the universe to, and your reality to look a different way in front of you, we have to do the things as well. And our physical body is also part of that. And I mean, we can talk about ascension symptoms another time, but really making sure that your physical body is starting to come into alignment with all of that as well, and that your physical body isn't left behind. So we can be going through all this healing and doing all this great, energetic work and clearing all of this stuff and all of this trauma and all of these energetic ties that we've got to past lives and to our family and to the past. But if our body can't hold that, we're going to find it really, really difficult. We're going to get colds, we're going to get flus, we're going to get headaches, we're going to get stomach problems. So our physical body, asking your physical body what it needs every day too, not just checking in with your emotions and your healing, but checking in and saying, hey, body, what do you need today to step into the next level and layer? What do you need today to be able to hold the light that's coming in? Because otherwise, if your body starts falling behind, like I said, those ascension symptoms and, the way that it takes a toll on your physical body, because you've got to remember energy is in all the cells. This is happening, all this stuff happens at a cellular level. And, we are third dimensional beings. The third dimension is our physical body. It's weight and mass and height and length and all, those things. So we need to be making sure that we're looking after that too. So hope all of that is making a little bit of sense. I hope it's giving you some insight and some direction into what you can start doing to, sorry, I'm jiggling the camera about. For those of you who are watching. So I hope that gives you some insight into how you can move forward and the things that you can start doing today that are going to help move you along, help you feel a little bit more sort of in control in a way of your awakening. I think when you kind of know where you're at, and this is why I designed the quiz, which again, I'll put the link in if you haven't taken it. But once you kind of know where you're at, you've got that pinpoint on the map and your destination, it's the end. It's that getting to that mission and purpose. And once you've got that pinpoint and you can map out a way to get there. And so, having those ideas of how to move forward and the different meditations you can do, the different mindsets you can get into is really, really helpful. Anywho, have a wonderful week and let me know if you have any questions either in the comments or you can contact me through the email. I'll pop that below and I will see you next week. Bye.